Hi, and welcome to another episode of One Game Dead. I'm Gregory Palaci, and this is, my podcast, vlog, live stream of me talking about parenting and culture. But in today's episode, I want to talk spousal support systems. In part because I honestly don't know how any single parent does it, manages to work and take care of their child. Being a stay-at-home dad and having my wife work, it's difficult enough. We get some additional support from the in-laws, and so it's one of those things where, without others, I don't know how anyone does it. And, there's that African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child, and it quite literally feels like that at times. Not that our daughter is particularly tough. There are trying times. She eats well, she's healthy, she's playful, but she also wants attention constantly, which makes getting things done around the house trying. And that's hard. That's something that I don't quite understand how others do it. Because trying to ensure a clean house when my daughter and the cat decide that, oh, hey, let's just make a mess of everything, is
Operation Caliban. Welcome to the show.
so much
We've got
fun.
several fire teams missing beneath the arcology. We got one report a few hours back,
And
but it's been radio silence since then.
This is combat search and rescue in extremely hostile territory. The Hive
It's
are
something that I
notorious for their
don't know how
Expect the worst.
we're meant to
Those guardians are my responsibility. Get in, get out, and don't
how
die.
are we meant to do all of this, especially with the way work goes these days, in that it's meant to increasingly go beyond that idea of 9 to 5, and that is something I think is insane, because how are you supposed to have a family if work is supposed to be life? And these philosophies that are espoused by some of your job needs to be your passion is frankly absurd, because it misconstrues what's important for a lot of people.
Just sealed this door.
Heads up, Caliban. We show Fallen inbound toward your current position.
I find myself just constantly wondering about how anyone is meant to work and have kids these days when everything seems to be against them. I mean, if you're earning enough, then yeah, maybe you can afford to have someone come in and clean for you. But by and large, it's not something that's readily available to everyone. And that makes life tough, especially since I want to return to work. I want to do something more than be a stay-at-home parent. For some people, that's all they want to do, all they want to be. That is not me. And you know, I wouldn't be able to do what I do without my wife, and I don't think she'd be able to do what she does without me. But finding that balance between both of our needs and our wants and then that of our child is difficult. And granted, we're relatively new parents. I mean, okay, we've been parents now for 11 months, and it's always work.
That broadcast came from somewhere nearby. Hurry.
So I
Taliban,
just...
do you copy? Taliban, do you copy?
It's... Yeah, it's something that we're constantly having to work on, and I don't know if we're ever going to get it right.
Up there, by that crystal. That's where the broadcast came from. That's void light in there. How?
It's... Yeah, it's...
Hello? Is anyone in here? We're here to help.
My wife is an
This
amazing
doesn't add
person, and
Where's that guardian we
she
heard?
does so much. A
What is
lot of the times,
this?
too much.
It's some kind of
And
summoning seal. There's a
something
network of magic running
that's a
deep
bit-
into the arcology.
it's a struggle to
Right.
talk to her
Void
about
light. They're using void
at
light to
times,
summon
and it's hard to
something.
ask her to
Hello?
cut back as well.
Anyone there? I just heard somebody. Commander Zavala, can you hear me?
These are fueling that summoning ritual. Yes, we can hear you.
Thanks, the traveler.
It's...
I can
and-
barely hear you. Let me get to a better position.
Feels good to watch you smash stuff. This place makes me nervous.
Yeah, I don't know how to broach the subject or if I even should, because, you know, in her job she's doing stuff globally, so yeah, she's always, to some degree, always got to be available, which is not ideal. And then with her political career,
Still there, strangers? This is Takeo 3.
it's...
Don't break my heart here.
We hear you.
Good. Stay with me. Thought I was gonna have to take these murders on all by myself.
It's something that yeah, it's dealing with multiple careers, a kid, a household. I mean, I very much understand that New York Times article that if you want happiness, if you want to find happiness, then, you know, it's a matter of not necessarily having money, but putting,
Real talk. I don't know how much
Off-
more my ghost can take.
offsetting
And I'm running out of ammo.
Just
those
lie
things
low.
that you can.
We're
So
coming
if
for
you hire a
Lie
cleaner
low is
or
not in my
something like
flavor.
that,
I'm gonna
giving
do what I
yourself
can to help you from
time,
here.
because with a kid,
I can't believe I was so cavalier about destroying these.
it's time is really all that I have time, but it never seems truly to be that much. And it's something that I something I wish I had more of, because I don't feel like I'm doing enough around the house at times. Like, okay, I'll clean up, but then 10 minutes later, the kid, just validate everything I've done. And that is difficult to say the least.
We've been able to use the void light against the hive twice now.
Really?
And
Then
it's
my friends didn't die for nothing. Getting a little dicey down here. You need to
it's
turn back.
something
Hang in
that
there. We're on our way. Takeo, listen. We can use the crystals to disrupt the ritual. We can beat this.
No! Turn
something
back.
that I don't
Yeah, great idea.
like.
There aren't
I
any
mean,
powered
I
crystals in
want
here.
to be able to
Never
spend more
mind.
time with
Going with that
my
plan.
family at the same
But you said
time.
there aren't any
It's like come the
crystals.
weekends, there are
Not
things
yet.
I feel I need to do for myself, things I need to do in terms of the household. And so it just, it's constantly,
This is it.
it's constantly work. And
You did not die in vain.
it's it's work without joy. It's, you know, work. It has to be done, but it's always constantly something that requires that, you know, kind of takes us away. Because, like, we can't clean the house, we can't get things put up until we are, the other one is here to take care of the kids. So it's very much a matter of working together, but at the same time that means we're apart because, okay, and yeah, just being a good spouse. At times it's, I don't know, I feel like I'm doing anything but.
Here's our chance.
Yeah, I feel like I'm being anything but a good spouse because there's this divide. Like, okay, I'm doing the basics of getting the house sorted. I'm doing little. I'm seeing to low-level needs.
You did not die in vain.
And that's not getting us, but I don't know if it's truly helping. And I feel like just feel like I could do better. Like I could be doing more for my wife. And yet but yeah, I just at this point I don't know how to balance it. I don't know what more to do. To I mean, come the new year, things will change. And my daughter will go to daycare, and that's fantastic. I mean, that's getting some more support. But I wonder how that's going to affect, you know.
It's time.
Family time. And crap. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm at a loss on how to be a better husband at this point, how to be a better father, because I feel like time is in such short supply
Taliban in the blind. Do you copy?
that it's
Yes, we're
all
here.
about
We took care of the hive. But
just
those fire teams aren't coming home.
I see. We will honor those who fell today.
it's
Make your way
just about
topside. You've done well.
getting those little things done, and sometimes to make it easy, but at the same time they're not what yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like it's enough. Like it's the right thing. I mean, maybe I've loaded too much on my plate, but I don't feel like I have that much. I'm just trying to get by, and at time, and I've talked to my wife about everything she has on her plate, and she's certainly cut back. But the addition of her job doesn't make that any easier, and so I just it to be there for one another, to have time for one another is difficult. It's and to even just get the time to talk about that is hard, because come the evening we are tired. which does no one any good. And yeah. Being a good I think I'm a good husband, an okay spouse, I guess, because I'm trying to enable my wife to do what she wants, to have the career she wants, to be here and take care of the kids, to enable all of that. But at the same time, it feels like in doing so, it doesn't really actually leave much room for the relationship. And it's not like I'm being used or I'm using her.
Your target
It's
is Rocket Zone, weapons dealer to the Red Legion. Can I help you?
Ikora said she needed you. Don't worry. I got this.
I'll keep an eye on it. No problem.
Be brave, my
it's yeah.
All the paths to the rest of the base are shut tight. But get me to a console, and I'll take care of that.
It's yeah, I guess it's just
We're through, and I made things more exciting.
Don't sound so down, little guy. Our teams are built for excitement.
sorry, I'm tired. I just I find myself just wondering if things are too regimented, if we're scheduled too much, if we're not flexible enough, because in my need for time, my need to do things, to try and accomplish things, well, the fact that she takes a kid for a walk and then I clean the house, or I get to record this podcast, and she's doing that on the weekends, whereas on the rest of the days,
There's an exhaust vent nearby, but I don't know how long you want to hang on to that thing.
it's yeah,
Nice work. That should take care of the barrier.
yeah, I don't know if the trick is to actually, I don't know, try and clean the house together when she's here, or because not having the kid here makes it easier, because things aren't getting messy. I can actually put stuff away. I can, the kid doesn't get freaked out by the vacuum. And she's not massively freaked out by it, but it is something that, yeah, I mean, it makes it difficult when you have a kid that's not happy by about the noise, and so I find myself just trying to find ways to minimize that, to do it. It's like, okay, if I'm
This guy's no ordinary
to go out for a
space
walk with them,
His weapons ain't half bad
or I
either.
could be here cleaning. Like,
Those weapons have
it's a
snuffed out too
trade-off.
many good
Like,
people.
I don't
Oh,
think
get me
there's
wrong.
necessarily
They'll
a
still
good
deserve whatever
way
this fire team gives them. They always
to do these things. And
The ship is still here.
Zon
it's...
moved in after you
I
put
don't know.
memos down.
Maybe I'm gonna have to
Surprised he
try
hasn't painted the
something
place
else.
chartreuse to match his armor.
I'm sorry, painted it what now?
Ah, nothing.
But yeah, something I've been thinking about, changing up the sort of schedule we use to get through all this, but I don't know if that's
Back into the ship we go.
going to work.
We're coming for you, Zon.
He's got a lot to answer for. Be thorough.
I like this place better when there wasn't a Cabal tank in it.
Why would they put a tank inside a ship?
The Zon's running scared. Don't let up, fire team.
And so I just... Ooh, that hurt. Yeah. It's... I mean, with time, I know this is all supposed to get easier being a husband and partner, a spouse, but having a kid has just thrown a whole new wrench into the works. That's... You know, it's things I just wasn't expecting. And it's, yeah, going forward, I just... I don't know the right way to improve our situation, and I'm repeating myself endlessly in this regards because there is no right way. It's a matter of experimenting, iterating, as people love to say these days. And in that
Oh, come on. Another one?
So, yeah, it's... I'm not really being very eloquent anymore in this regards, and I don't know if there's anything more for me really to say that is going to add anything fruitful to the conversation. It's... all I can really say is that I'm tired, but I have to keep on with what I'm doing. And I have to try and find time, try and make time. As long as everyone is fed, clean, and healthy, and ideally happy, and things are working, and in the future we can build on that.
Zahn is here.
And the flame turret. Is he using the flame turret?
Yes.
But it's... yeah, I'm just... I don't... not that we're in dire straits, but it's always kind of a question of, will we survive this? I mean, I want us to survive this. Can we? Given everything, it's a different matter. I honestly, I don't know what's gonna happen. So it's, yeah, it's just a trying time, and I don't recommend anyone ever have kids, because it certainly changes everything. I mean, some people have it easier, some people have it harder, and others, not saying it's particularly hard, but just the
We've got you, Zahn. Get up.
the trade-offs we've
Way better than us. But that won't stop us. Let's get him.
the trade-offs we've made it's ultimately in pursuit of, or in the name of our daughter. And that's something we have to live with, deal with. Ouch. So yeah, it's just, okay, we have holidays are coming up, and they are going to make life a lot easier, and that we're going to get more time with one another. And that is that makes all the difference when we have time that's beyond the weekend, where we're forced to, we're having to do all the things that we're not accomplishing during the week. It's certainly, I don't know, to my mind, gonna give us some peace, at least.
Take that, Zahn. Yeah.
Sounds like I returned at just the right time. Excellent work, fire team.
It's,
Thanks,
you know,
boss.
it is
Find
what
the
it
book.
is.
Whole way.
Does this
So, I guess that's been an episode. Thanks for
Don't forget about
watching.
the
Thanks for
signal flares.
listening. I'm Gregory Palaci. You can find everything that I do at onegamedad.com on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, and Patreon at onegamedad. Tune in next time. Have a good holiday.